Now we're going to talk about the Siebel data model for party business components. What is party concept? This is a very special concept which was introduced in Siebel 7. It was not present in Siebel 6. There are many subtle points of this party component, party model. We'll try to understand all that, and we'll try to understand why they introduced this party concept. Okay. Identify tables used for storing data about organizations and all that stuff. It stores the data about persons and all that stuff. But we'll see what is the main use. Enables you to configure business components related to access control. Enables you to import access control. Well, that's fine. We'll see what all we can do. Let's try to understand what it is. See, refers to instances of entities that have access to records. What is the first? See, refers to instances of entities that have access to records. Person-related entities, organization-related entities, groupings created for access to master data. See, in Siebel there are many entities like contact, employee, user, partner. Then there are other entities called account, position, division, organization. See, this data is stored in the respective tables. We all understand that. But whenever data is stored in these tables, another table also gets populated. That's called as party table. There are other two entities called as access group and user list. They are not in Siebel 6, they are Siebel 7. They are precisely the reason why this party table exists. I'll try to tell you the basic concept behind party table. So let's go to Siebel 6 to understand this thing. So in Siebel 6, if you want, you can make a team of positions, right? Who are these positions? They are not nobody but the employees, the positions of those employees who are working in the company. Is it ever possible that you will not be in the team? Let's say there is an account and you all five employees of the company go to win that account. Is it ever possible that instead of employees we take somebody else also? Just think, is it always anyway possible? Answer is yes. Sometimes we might take as part of the team the employees of the partner company, right? If there are two companies which are partnering, then we can take the employees of the partner company. They will not be present as employees in our database or positions in our database, right? They will be as something else. Have you ever thought that we might have to take some people who belong to some other company, right? That means they are an account. They are contact of that account, and we go to this another account, take these contacts with us to win that account, right? Is it possible? It is possible. Sometimes it does happen. Many big companies collaborate like this. We are not talking about some simple businesses. Let's say Boeing. When the plane is being sold, they might be not just taking the help from their own employees. They might be taking the help from so many people who will go with them. Let's say some broker from some another company. Is it right? Is it right? Yeah. Let's say there are 2-3 brokers involved. Then they might take one of the people from that. In Siebel 6, there was no way to show them as being part of this NVT applet, because they were belonging to different. They were belonging to different. They were belonging to an account. And here we had the ability to only put our own employees. So we could never really say that this content is also part of this relationship, of this account winning team, of this opportunity winning team, wherever the team concept comes. For example, in opportunity also we have this team concept, right? Right? In here, we could only put positions or employees at that point. We could not say that this account, the contact in that account is also going to go as part of the team to win this test Opti 1224. It's a different account, of course. So he's not our contact for this account. So I cannot put him as a contact. He's a part of the team who's going. So we are not one people who are going to win that opportunity. For example, when I was working for a pharma company, there were 5 or 6 accounts which got together, companies which got together, and we made a team of 6 people, one from each company, which went to win that contract from that pharma company. For everybody's database, pharma company was account, their own employees, they were the organization, their own employees were employees and positions, Other people, other partners that they have chosen, they were also set up as accounts and their people as contacts. But as part of this relationship with this pharma company, those 4 companies contacts will be a part of that team. Is it right?
Right.
There was no way to do that in Siebel. Siebel 6 was, there was no way to do that. So in Siebel 7 they said, okay, we will kind of give everybody a common key so that we can put them as part of this. How it really becomes useful, how it happens, we'll talk about all that. It has to come in due course of time. I'll tell you key components which are required. This is the use. This putting everybody in this MVG applet is the use. Okay, that's the main thing. Second thing is, and how it becomes, how it happens, that place where the common key is stored for contacts, for employees, for users, for partners, for accounts, for position, for division, for organization, wherever that common key is stored, that table is called as party table. How it is stored, how it works, we'll understand in detail now. Okay?
Common key for that contact?
Common key, not for that contact only. Common key for all these entities. So you could, I gave you an example of contact. Similarly, you could have this whole account as a team who's going to work on it, right? So we might say this account is a part of the team, and every contact in that account will get the access to that, right? Right? So there was no way to basically effect these kind of things, right? That this whole organization. So in Siebel we have, let's say Dell is implementing Siebel, then Dell is organization, right? Rest everybody's account, right? So within Dell we could create multiple hierarchy of relationships of organization, right? Dell Asia Pacific, Dell product, right? So on and so forth. But at that point there was no way to make them as part of the team. Like Dell India is a part of who's going to work on this opportunity with us. We could not just do that. Although I see very less scenario where the whole Dell India organization will become part of the team. I don't see that scenario. That's why I'm not able to give you some real business scenarios other than context business scenarios. But still, if you wanted, there was no provision. Now there is a provision. Okay, in Siebel 7 there is a provision. So between Siebel 6 and Siebel 7, you guys know the GUI is different, right? The GUI is Internet Explorer based. There is an introduction of web client, and obviously this is the main difference. Party table. Okay, so that's why you will see after Siebel 7 was introduced, there was not many big innovations by Siebel systems. Siebel 7 was their best version so far, but we all know it's slow.
Yeah.
That's the only problem it has. It's slow. Siebel 7.7 and 7.8 are not slow. They're a little faster. You have installed 7.7, right? Don't you think it's a little faster, less error free,
Yes.
more error free? We'll install everything on your laptop once you format it tomorrow. You already? Yeah, please do. Please do.
You have some blood series.
How many? Person represents anyone associated with the Siebel application. He's trying to say contact, employee, all these are persons. Okay. Maybe someone using the application, employee at a company that deployed a Siebel application, individual at a channel partner, customer logging into the website, so and so forth. Okay. One more thing. There is one more person we never thought about. There might be some people who might be having the access to Siebel application but may not be the employees of the company. Can you think of that? Sometimes Siebel might be used by the people on the web to create service requests. You might be giving the access to the customer directly to log on a service request in Siebel. They will not be having any position. There is no visibility to them. They just see their own service requests, right? We call them as user entities. Okay? So user will not be having a position. Okay? Every position must have a user corresponding to it, but user may not be having a position for it. Okay? So if you create a position in Siebel, you have to mention the user. If you create a user in Siebel, you don't have to mention the position. Okay? There are two types of users, employees and outsiders. Is it right?
Yeah.
Both will be having login ID and password. Employees will be having position with them. Is it right?
Yeah.
Right? But users may not be having a position associated with them. Will they be having responsibility?
No.
No. They just need the access to some specific views. Actually, they might, because they have to access certain views. I'm just thinking they might be having access to certain views.
So without responsibility, you can't simply view.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking how it will be assigned. So yeah, that's basically the sphere of Siebel customer applications, right? Right. So if anybody of you is working on customer applications, we'll go into the detail and explain everything in detail. So long yours is not customer application, yours is not customer application. What is a customer application? Can you explain to Muruks? There was no way of entering these users as part of the team, because in Siebel only position could be entered as part of the team, right? If there are two different employees having the same position, could you make them as part of the team? One will be part of the team and the other will be not. In Siebel 6, no, because position is the only one you could make it a part of the team. You couldn't make employees or users or organization or division or account or contact as part of the team, right? So that is the reason Siebel introduced this central thing. How this central thing helps, it's a little tricky thing. My goal is to really make you understand so that you're familiar with this as party. Okay, I'll just get into the technical details now, how it works. How those technical details help in providing visibility is a connection that you'll make over time. Okay, but definitely I told you a benefit. That's the only benefit. I'll tell you the technical details of this as party. How those technical details lead to providing that benefits, you may not be able to figure that out. At this point, I just want you to go there. Person related business components. They store their main data in the same table as underscore contact. So that's not the point. All the data is going in the corresponding table only. Only some data, just the row ID, is going in this party to do something, to affect that visibility thing that we just talked about. Right? But main, contact, last name, everything is stored in contact table only. Okay? May store additional data in s underscore user and s underscore amp underscore per. That's the design of the contact table. Let's not get into that at this point. We want to quickly cover the party table thing. But these are all different persons. The way these different persons are different types of persons. User is a person, amp per is a person, contact is a person. Employee is a person, contact is a person. All these are there. Okay? We'll just get to the party table concept. Okay? Okay? We know that in Siebel, the data might be stored in one table only, but on top of that there is a business component layer which takes the data from one or more tables and combine it into a logical business entity, right? For example, consumer. If there is a consumer, you will store it in the contact table and you will create a business component named consumer. Employee. That employee table basically stores in 3 tables in Siebel. And employee business component means logically all these 3 tables, data is picked from these 3 tables and combined into the business component, right? We did not go into this employee table because it's not important now. Okay? Whenever it becomes important, we'll see.
No.
User responsibility relationship, use the as per REST intersection table. Any user can be granted a responsibility. We know that. That's fine. This is not important. There is a as per REST table with the responsibility user, that whatever relationship that you make in the responsibility user table screen, that's what gets stored here. Okay? I'll show you what gets stored here. If you go to here, go to Siebel 6, application administration, responsibilities, and this relationship. One responsibility can have multiple views, and one view can be in the many relationship responsibilities. That there has to be an intersection table between responsibility and view behind the scenes, right? They're also stored somewhere, right? So that is the as REST view, whatever that name was written. As per REST table, okay? But we are not going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about party. Organizational ready data. We know that different types of organizations are present. Business organization. First is the accounts itself. They are the external to us. Then is an organization entity in Siebel, which is our own, whosoever has deployed Siebel, right? Then there is a partner company, right? Is it right? So they are all organizational type entities. They store their main data in s underscore org underscore ext. By the way, it stands for external. Ext stands for external, or org stands for organization. This is the name of the account table in Siebel. Okay. May store additional data in s underscore bu. Okay. That's the table for organization. S underscore bu. Okay. Organization related business components. We know that account and organization, they store their data in different tables. They get logically connected at the business component level into account and organization. But that's not our main thing. We gotta get to party ASAP. S_BU table. It is indexed by organization name and it permits the supports the organizational visibility. But that's not our main goal. We'll just go to the okay. By the way, you know what is an organization and account, right? Organization is the company which is deploying the table, and accounts are all the other companies, right? So he's saying that S_BU stores the name of the organizational entity, okay? And if there is no organization in Siebel, for example, in ours, this thing, which organization is being used? Does anybody remember? Default organization, right? That's the name of the organization of Siebel sample. Is right?
Right.
Yes. If I go to this thing, this is the one. This is the default organization, this is the one which is deploying the Siebel. If you do not create any organization, then default organization is the one which will automatically get attached to each and every data. And we talked in the morning, this is a very important. Organization cannot be deleted, because every data is related to the organization. If organization gets deleted, data will become orphan. So Siebel does not allow you to delete organization. Default organization is the one to which every data element gets related if you do not create another organization, okay? Anyway, this is not again very important. Multi-org visibility. This is a very important concept in Siebel. Is implemented by an intersection table between S_BU and the table for the multi-organization business component. Intersection tables for organization have a _BU suffix. So what happens is, in Siebel 6, there could be only one organization. All the data could be related to only one organization. So it was a pick applet. This is Siebel 6, right? You could only pick one table, one organization at a time. You could not pick multiple. Yeah, there were multiple organizations available, but you could pick only one at a time. You could not relate it to multiple organizations, one data record. In Siebel 7, you have multi-org. You can relate it to multiple organizations. Okay? It has a lot of repercussions as far as business is concerned. You know what the main thing is? Let's say there is Dell Asia Pacific, Dell India and Dell America. Okay? So Dell India will be having their own accounts, Dell America will be having their own accounts. One day they both get merged. So obviously Dell India people should be able to see the accounts in Dell USA too. They both get merged if they both get merged. See, had they been using Siebel 6, this would have not been possible. Now it is possible, because what we can do is we can assign each and every account to both the organizations. Siebel 7 is merge friendly. It's easy to merge two companies. It's easy to buy the companies which are using Siebel, right? Before it could not be done. Making sense? In Siebel 6 it could not be done.
Siebel 7, company can be merged.
If the companies merge, then the organization will be merged. We will not merge the companies in per se. We will not merge the organization data records. What I said is that for every account we will have both the accounts. We will have both the organizations now. We can do that. At least there is a way. Previously, every account had only one organization. But again, that is not a main thing. So you understood the concept of multi-org a little bit. See, party business components, they consist of business components that represent people and organization units. We know that they all represent the party table, right? S_party table serves as the base table for all party business components, stores the party name and party type. Has multiple extension tables that store the business data for the party business components. Okay? Remember that extension column that we discussed? Right? So S_quantity table has all the data. We understand that. S_party has only just something related to the contact. That is the row ID. Interesting thing to be noted is that if you see, contact table and party table will be having a one-to-one relationship. For every row in party, there will be one row in contact. There is a one-to-one relationship. For every row in contact, there is a. Can we implement these as extension tables of each other?
No.
Well, yes, that's how they have done it. This is the technology behind it. They have made one central S_party table. So each and every business component, account, contact, organization, position, they all reference the party table, and they reference the rest of the things from the contact table, from the account table, from the organization table. So if you go in the database and see Siebel 7 tools, you will see that account business component is mapped to which table? S_party. We don't call it S_party, but it's same, S_party we call it. So that's the way they are doing it, and they say that it has helped them in basically providing visibility or providing team for every account, for every kind of entity in the team. Previously they could be only positions, right? They say that they can put anything in the team now by having party table as the base table for every entity, for every business component. And so rest of the things are same between content and table. The row ID will be same as this row ID. Parent row ID will be referring to this row ID too. Similarly, account tables pair row ID will be referencing the party row ID. Okay, and this is an extension table to this. This is also an extension table to this. Party, I'll go to the party table now. In party table, this is the party table. As you can see, these are all common columns, right? So we should not just study them. These are the different party type code. This is where the party type code is present. Contact, account, partner, whatever. And if it's an account, Siebel engine will know that it has to go to account table for this guy to find the rest of the records. Okay, so this is kind of a filter also. Party UID, root party flag, these are the only things which are available for party. Rest everything is available in the actual base tables. Okay. Shall we see the data in this? This is all the data in this. See party type. Do you see the various party types here? Doesn't make much sense, right? Just cram it for the timing, I would say, because we need to just complete this. Grouping of users. Okay, includes business components that represent groupings of party instances. See what happens is, the way it works is, in Siebel 7, you create a group. You drag and drop position in it, you drag and drop party in it, sorry, account in it, you drag and drop contact in it. That group can be made a part of the MVG, team MVG. That's how it works. Okay, it's not drag and drop. You basically pick. Okay. S_party per is an intersection table that relates two instances of parties, used to implement relations between user list and user, employees and position, access groups and members. S_party per basically allows you to relate two party instances. For example, you want to relate employee and positions. If there is a relationship between an employee and a position, it will be stored in S_party per. So when you have this one position is held by employee, that will go in the S_party per also. Okay, we need an intersection table, right? If there is a many-to-many relationship between anything, we need an intersection table between them, right?
Yes.
S_party per is the table where the relationship is stored if there is a relationship between one party and another party. Okay? Do we have to store many-to-many relationship between opportunity? Can it happen? One opportunity can have multiple opportunities associated with it, sub-opportunities. It can happen,
Yeah.
right? So we need. Can one account be associated with multiple accounts? Yes. There is a many-to-many relationship between accounts also. How do we store that? We have many-to-many relationship between account also. S org. Some table like that should be there, right? S opti, right? So there is a table like that in Siebel. S par opti, S par or something like that. Okay. They store many-to-many relationship between opti and account and account. When you want to store the relationship between party and party, S_party per is the table. Okay. And you're getting this thing. Just 4 more slides. S_party and its extension tables are used to store data for many business components. As it is showing, in S_party table, only this data will go. Person related data will go in these 3 tables. Organization related relation data will go in this table, and S position will go in the position related table. Data will go in this table only, apart from S_party. Okay. S_party will definitely have some data. Okay. Relevance in subsequent activities. Configuring business components. All person-related business components use S_contact. All organization-related business components use S_org_ext. Okay. over 100 party business component reference estimates party would store the data in many as part. As he said, the data is main data is stored in always extension tables like contact table, account table, the actual table. As party will always have some data, just basic data. As I saw, just 7 fields, right? Was there any name field or anything? No, right? They are in the actual data. So as party is only used to provide user list access groups, the wherever party to party relationship has to be stored. Right? Once we create one such entity, we can reference it in MVG. Just to get a clear picture is a little difficult at this point, but I want to just make sure you understand what is S party. You should not think what is S party, never heard of this word. Now you have heard of this word. You know what is an access group. You know what is a user list, right? You have heard about this at least. If it comes in front of you, note it down. Don't ask any other person. Ask me. Call me. Summary. All right. We identified various tables, various party business components, and how we saw various entities get stored in SQL data model. Okay.